Elizabeth Santos, the acting executive director of the Guam Election Commission, joins us now from their brand spanking new offices in Tamuning. Wow, I wonder how many people are accidentally going to GCIC building still. But congrats. Go ahead.
We've gotten a few customers who said they went to GCIC first and saw the sign on the door and then came up here, but they found the place all right and we were able to help them out.
Man, Sabetan, when you accidentally go to GCIC, you got to find the parking, and there's spots there like so skinny, and then you got to get down and go up that ancient elevator, get up the second floor, and then you're like, oh my God, they moved.
Well, I will say our parking slots here at the Oka building are wider. I drive an SUV, and it's nice to have a wider parking slot.
Nice. You seem like a backwards parker.
I am.
And I mean, technically, Sabet, you're still kind of close to a mall. I mean, I guess if you want to consider it, like GPO's down the street, you're not as close to Hulali, obviously, as you guys were.
Yeah.
I'm a mall guy.
We're still learning the area. But we do frequent Oka Payless because it's a few buildings down from us.
Right on. Well, Sabeta, there was a couple bills relative to the GEC and elections down at the legislature, and I know you had they brought you on as part of a panel, right?
It was a public hearing for the two bills, 173 and 174. Yes.
And you guys in support?
So a lot of the measures in the bills came actually from the commission's recommendations that were published in our election comparative analysis report. So every odd year after the election, after we're done compiling all the data of all the voters and non-voters, we publish a report that's mostly statistical data, but we also have recommendations that would help streamline our processes and make us more effective and efficient. And so Senator Moylan thankfully picked up a lot of these recommendations and put them into bill form for us and introduced it this legislature.
What were some of the key? Is there anything that, well, the big ones, right, that you're carrying over from the last election? Because there were some of these like COVID measures that you guys had put in place, like the in-office voting, right? How you kind of widened it up. That's going to carry over?
Yeah, so that actually already passed. We will have early voting for the next election and elections after that in the 30-day period for anyone who's here. So they won't have to meet the certain absentee criteria that they would have had to meet before last election. So for the 30-day period prior to next primary election and next general election, everyone who's registered to vote would be allowed to vote early before election day in case they don't want to go to the polls.
Are there any deadlines that the Guam Election Commission has?
Coming up, October 19 is the deadline for the public official financial disclosure statement for those officials who requested and were granted an extension in April. So there are about 40 officials who were granted an extension and can file by the 19th to meet that deadline. So we have a lot of the customers that have been coming to our new office are either to register to vote or update their registration, and then also public officials filing those disclosure statements.
So out of the 40, they've been coming in and...
Yeah, they're steadily coming in. And when they're not coming in, they're also calling us and emailing us, asking certain questions about the form or asking for a new form and things like that. So we know that it's on their radar and that we're pretty sure they're going to submit it by the 19th.
And what happens if they don't?
Man, according to the law, we do report anyone who did not file.
To the AG or to the Ethics Commission?
No, I think... If I'm not mistaken, this is where Maria is better at this. We publish it in the newspaper and we also forward the names. I would have to look it up. I know Maria will know it offhand, but I definitely know we publish it in the newspaper.
All
right. I know that the deadlines for like campaign filings are a ways off, but are you guys seeing any like traffic, maybe with voter registration or anything that might indicate that next year is going to be a pickup compared to last election?
You know, we actually had National Voter Registration Day. I think it was September 21st and 22nd. And our registration team here at GEC worked with UOG students, and they had a drive at the campus And they did also really push for online voter registration. So I think our number for National Voter Registration Day alone was over 200 registrants, whether they were new registrants or they were updating their registration. So that was really successful. We do continue to get volunteer voter registrar applications to have registrars in the community registering people to vote. And so we're also brainstorming because we want to encourage more and more people to come out to vote. Last election, obviously with the pandemic, that was probably a major factor in the numbers, but we didn't see as many voters as we wanted to last election. And so all of us here at the office are brainstorming how to get more people out to vote, because it doesn't really seem like registering is really the issue, because we do get a lot of registration from motor voter registration and online registration, and also registrars in our community. And so hopefully the early voting will see more people come out, and then also on election day next year. So part of the legislation that was introduced by Senator Moylan actually is moving the primary election from the last Saturday in August to the first Saturday in August. So if that happens, if it's enacted, we will definitely be doing a media campaign to let everyone know that that date has changed and all the dates that they can come in and vote for the next primary election.
Nice. You good?
Yeah.
I had one more. It's slipping my mind right now. Oh, was there anything in these bills? Because when we have Maria on, and I know we've talked about this too, about the changing of the filing timeline. So, for example, if you're a gubernatorial team and you file your org report and you raise any money, then you're obligated to report it. What is it? Certain number of days after that, but then you're not obligated to file anything until 10 days before the primary. And so we always talk about how this makes it difficult for you guys to police a lot of this fundraising that goes on. So do these bills with Senator Moylan, because I forgot to ask him, is this addressed in any of these measures?
No, the campaign finance deadlines were not touched in these two bills, but we did recommend it in our election comparative analysis report. We were hoping for quarterly reports, because that would, when they're quarterly and they're farther away from the election day, we can go through the reports and identify things, issues, and work with the candidates to see how to rectify those issues. So those were not introduced with this legislation, though.
How's that work when you guys say, oh, why didn't you follow those recommendations, or is it just kind of up to the senators to pick and choose?
Oh, it's really up to them what they introduce. But Senator Moylan did work with us in terms of these two bills and the measures that he took from our recommendations. So we were grateful that he took up a lot of those recommendations.
Right on, Sabet. We'll let you get over to Ocapelas and get your breakfast. So thank you for your time this morning.
The office is open now, so I cannot go
You
over
know
there.
what?
But thank you so
Go
much
over
for
to
having me.
go over to,
Perisco.
go to Three Squares.
Oh,
and
yeah.
check them out. We're about to get it. You're going to be so malago because we're kicking off Three Squares Marketplace this morning. Okay.
Tell her what we might be having.
We might be having. We don't know what they're bringing, but
when we say might, we say probably.
We're going to sample grab and go treats like Keligwin, Champalado, Latiza, and more.
Wow.
Champalado?
Shotgun champalado. Shotgun. I called it. Dibs.
I'm thinking like Latiza with Champalado on top.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Just kidding. Thank you, Sabet.
You may need to make a field trip over here to Harmon, because we need to do like an extended interview. So
Yeah, outreach. Just call it an outreach.
Outreach. Okay.
Man, you wouldn't get any work done if you were next door to us. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Sabet.
Take care.
Right
good
on.
to see you.
Good people down there at Guam Election Commission. It's 8:03.
It's always fun with GEC during election time.
Right.
They're so awesome.
It's 8:03, guys. Let's go ahead and jump over to KUAM TV on the Breeze side, where KUAM FM Agotnik Guam. KUAM TV, here we come. Good morning.